Hi again, it's Nicole, and I am doing video 5, part of the string of the strengths of auto mode. Um, just before I started this, I was thinking I should talk about the prevention of hypos, because that has been a significant effect of using the 670. But I don't think I am really qualified to talk about that because it's going to start getting into some of the more technical things, and that's not where my brain wants to go right now. Where my brain wants to go is exercise. So that's where I'm going, and it's a part of this. When I have a long history of exercise, very intense, very fast paced, whatever. Dance, run, play basketball, whatever it is. And I have a long history of severe sugar crashes with exercise, as do most diabetics. So when I went on to the 670, it was one of my first questions: is how is this thing supposed to handle exercise? Because they were taking away the temp basals. So what they explained to me is that even though they were taking away temp basal, that they were replacing it with something called temp target, and this is what you would use in your auto mode. And they said, so instead of using a temp basal, you would set a temp target. Well, your temp target, you can't control it. You can only turn it on and decide for how long. So I turn on my temp target for, let's say, 2 hours, and instead of making my my targeted blood sugar a 120, it would adjust it to a 150, which is, I can't remember exactly, but let's say it's about 25 to 30%, somewhere in there. So it's like a temp basal of a 70 or 75%. Well, right away I said, that's not going to work. Like, that's not enough. I need a 50% reduction at least, or I'm going to bottom out. And so we talked to options, and they said, look, this is what we think we need you to do, this auto mode with temp target. But if that doesn't work, and if you crash too fast and auto mode can't handle it, go out, go to manual mode, do a temp basal. So 2 options: auto mode temp target or manual mode temp basal. So I have been tracking my exercise, and I have been arguing with the people that I love, about what's working and what's not working. And I have finally come, just in the last week and a half or 2 weeks, to a very surprising result, or finding. And that is, there was a third option that we didn't discuss, and that is just auto mode, no temp target, and no manual mode with temp basal. And that's why I'd like to talk about this as being one of the strengths of auto mode. I didn't give it a chance because I didn't think that that was one of my options, because I just assumed it would not be able to keep up. But it is amazing. And as long as I head into it with a high enough blood glucose so that when I do start to crash, or when I do start to dip, I'm not down at a 50 or something like that. It takes care of the rest. And I have seen through runs, through dances, whatever it is, I have seen that when I am normally bottoming out and reaching for sugar tabs, or in the old days, like Skittles, or however I used to do it, that I'm watching my number turn around. So I could be a 108, 3 arrows down, and I'm like, oh, here it comes. But I've had to learn not to correct, to kind of wait, let auto mode try, let it see what it's going to do, and then I can add a sugar tab or 2 or 3, whatever, as needed. But there have been a couple of instances where I just haven't needed anything, and it's helped me. I've gone like this. I'm gonna try to do this like this, and then back up again. It's really cool. I would like to discuss this more in another video, because it's really impressive, and it was a huge surprise. And there is another kind of thing that you need to discuss, and that is the rebound in auto mode, which kind of gets back out to where it's not very good, and that's something that you have to look out for coming out of exercise. But I'm not going to do it in this one. I'm just going to say that this is not medical advice, and please don't go out and not bring sugar tabs or whatever. It's just something to look at as a possibility, and it was a surprise to me.